I was already an award-winning writer at the time, and so my editor called me and said, "What do you think about Star Wars?" And I started talking to her about the archetypal storyline and why I liked it, and she says, "No, what I mean is, would you be willing to write a Star Wars novel?" I said, "Yeah." From there, what they did was she said, "Okay, write up a proposal and get it to me in 3 days." I'd been thinking about it in the back of my mind, and my wife and I just watched Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, which is about some gentlemen who kidnap women and take them up to their mountain cabin, and they all fall in love. And I thought, it'd be kind of fun to do something a little bit like that. I just didn't think that Leia and Han could get married that easily. So I wanted to come up with a reason why Han would kidnap Leia and take her somewhere. And then I went and talked to my writing group, got a bunch of friends who were Star Wars fans, and we just kind of sat down and came up with the storyline in probably about a day and a half, and I wrote the outline. At that time, George Lucas was actually going through, and he read the outline and made a couple of notes and basically said, "This sounds really cool," and we were able to go ahead and move through the process. Once Lucasfilm approves it, then you write the story, and I did. I made a couple of little minor changes, which I think to the outline, which I think improved the book. Then we sent it back to Lucasfilm again and had their team go through the story sort of line by line. They had a couple of queries for George Lucas, and he went through and answered all the queries, and he ended up really being very nice about the whole thing. I don't think I had any major changes. The little kinds of things that I had were just like minor one-line edits, take out this line or that line or something like that. So it was really, really easy to work with Lucasfilm. That was really the big bonus. I've worked on a couple of other movies and other projects, with gaming companies and things like that. And Lucasfilm was just so easy to work with and gave you a lot of freedom at that time.
Yeah, I kind of threw a lot of crazy ideas out there, and actually when George Lucas read my outline, he sent me a little letter saying, "This looks really, really exciting. I can't wait to see it," kind of thing. And there were only a few things that got nixed for me. I did have Chewbacca pull the arm off of one of the witches of Dathomir and beat her to death with it. Next, too violent. But I was like, they promised that Wookiees could